easier to do. The problem is that there's an addiction to getting something from someone else. And it exists in America today, so shocking that it's unbelievable, because we're the bastion of what we would call liberty. And yet, even here, with a foundation as solid as what we have people who would prefer, I would rather take what you have than be responsible for my own effort. Which is pretty remarkable. In the best country in the world, we still have the worst attitude socially that people can have. Most of us think about Marx, we think about the old, oh yes, from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. Philosophically, they lose me right there. Who is going to evaluate my ability? Maybe my ability is only watching football games on TV and drinking cold beer. Should I be as well taken care of as somebody who went to school 15 years, is able to do something? So who's going to evaluate it? Who's going to be this subjective person? And who knows what my needs are? I only have one restriction on my needs currently: how much money I have. I'm just like a Democrat. I will guarantee you I could buy a lot more than I do currently, but I don't have the money to do it. So nobody can identify my needs. The writing of Marx is kind of interesting when you understand that he was the first person that made a division, that there is a division in our society of people. We, of course, listen to Mr. Obama, who was cultured in communism, and class warfare is normal. It's always those who have, and I don't, and I want yours. It's a pretty simple icon. It's not hard to understand. And the idea that Marx came up with is pretty vague. In his idea, he talks about a thing, the kingdom of necessity. Now, when we stop and think of those words, the kingdom of necessity, what is the driver that we all live under? Is it not the kingdom of necessity? There are things that we all buy. There are things we need to survive. There are things our society provides in order to have an environment in which we live. There's none of us who want to go home today and find out that we do not have electricity. It is a necessity that that air conditioner was running. There is none of us who would like to get sick tomorrow and not realize there's not a hospital or doctors to take care of us. Is that not a necessity? So when you stop and think of it, you have to be brain dead to sit here and listen to this man make a presentation that lacks any reason. It's illogical what he says and what he does. But in his utopic world, we're going to have business run by democracy. Now here's a real interesting one to stop and think about. We've never been able to run a country with democracy. So what lunatic would come up with the idea we're going to run a business by democracy? Anyone here that's ever worked into a business where you have other people work there, there is a division among labor, even those who do the same job. There are some who do much. There are some who do damn little. And there are some that do less than damn little. And unfortunately, in these environments, we have that situation where people are paid the same. Now, is that what we're saying in communism? That we're all going to strive to do less than damn little because we all receive the same? So what motivates the person to be better and do more? If you don't give him a reward, you'd have to be pretty strange to think, oh, it's one, look what I did. Yeah. Oh, Charlie, you're going to the ball game. That's all right. I only got 15 hours overtime to do here in order to get the job done. But we're going to get paid the same. Again, that's illogical. That's beyond the rational reasoning of a human being. Try to think of somebody running something collective. If you've ever been in an environment, why do you have a boss? If we have anything we've learned of the incompetency of an organization of equal power, we can use Congress. What can Congress do better than anyone else? They can talk about it. They can talk about the stupidest things that no rational person would talk about. That's a true democracy. Let's talk about nothing. And what did they happen to miss during that little event? All the important things we should talk about. Because why? If we talk about the important things we should talk about, we have a little bit of a problem. We're going to make the press mad. And that's one thing that we don't understand and we don't deal with. But we have to understand that we had an example long ago, and it's biblical. You know, we all remember the story of the tenant. And the tenant was a group, a sack of gold of the wealth of 20 years of labor of a day laborer. Think of that fact. And in the tenant, the objective is of the servants that had the capital was to make the capital grow and make it work. That's the idea in America on wages. We need to understand that in America today, wages are based on what? We live in a world of these people that say, I should have because I am. But the reality of it is they don't understand why wages are paid. And it's a simple thing. Business is not complex. Business is very simple. A businessman has a business based on few factors. He has X amount of investment that is put into the business. He has a market amount that he brings in from whatever he does. When the costs are less than the revenue, he stays in business. So how does he know what he pays you? It's very simple. He has to generate the revenue in order to pay you what he does pay you. That's one measurement. And what's the other measurement that we forget to realize? Your replacement cost. If you do something that a retarded monkey who votes Democrat could do with 2 seconds of training, then you could be replaced for that cost. That's all the value you have. That's why people who make a lot of money, why do they make all that money? Because they can probably generate $10,000 an hour. So if they make 1,000, they're doing well. And they always have a partner to deal with, which is the government. Socialism, for a rational person, is one of the most illogical concepts that's ever been conceived from the mind of man.